residents who received the same letter. The letter obviously was not sent from the Roselle Park Police Department. There's a typed return address on it that says Roselle Park Police. The substance has been tested. It's preliminary testing. It comes back, there's no health hazard at this point, but there will be further testing in Trenton to ensure that there's no hazard. But at this point, there's no threat to the public.
Did the envelopes actually go through the mail? Were they postmarked?
The envelopes actually went through the mail, yes. What's concerning is there's a few envelopes that do not have stamps on them, so that's also being investigated.
So what type of substance is this? Do you give us some idea?
It was a powdery substance. It's possibly a bleach type substance of that nature. There's a couple actually substances mixed in which are not a threat, no health threat whatsoever to the public.
So any indication as to motive? Is this a prank? Is someone angry at someone? What is this?
Well, we don't know that it's a prank. We don't know if it's a serious threat to the public. It's just concerning that it was sent to 14 residents here, and 2 envelopes were left behind at the Elizabeth post office. So there's a few avenues that we're investigating currently, which I can't discuss at this point. It's much too early in the investigation.
Can you tell us, was there anything written on the letters or on the envelopes?
That I cannot discuss at this point.
So it wasn't just powder, there was a note inside.
There was powder inside of the envelopes, yes.
But there was also a note inside the envelopes.
There was powder inside the envelopes. That's what's being investigated at this point.
You can't confirm or deny whether there was a note?
No, I can't, not at this point.
And the house that you went to, the person who made the call, do you have any reason to believe that that particular person was targeted in any way?
There is no evidence whatsoever that that individual resident or any residents on this street is the actual target. We believe it was just sent to get a message out that they were sending this in the mail.
Is it possible that there are more that we haven't found yet?
That's possible. We sent out a public notice to the residents in Roselle Park that if they receive any type of mail from the police department, to call the police department immediately, and we'll investigate it.
What do you make of this, Chief? Has this ever happened here before?
Well, this goes back, if you remember, the days of the anthrax when we had all of that going on and all the investigations involving that. This is the first since that time. So, as you know, there's many things going on in this world right now. So, everything is taken very serious, and we're going to investigate it. And as I said, there's a few things we're looking into.
So, people who are checking their mail this afternoon or this evening when they get home, what are you telling them?
If they're checking their mail and there's anything from the Roselle Park Police Department, they're not to touch it. They're to call the Roselle Park Police Department immediately. We will send investigators out. We will take custody of it and test it to put them at ease that the substance is safe.
Is your theory at this point this is a prank, or are we talking about something a little more nefarious?
Well, you know, we don't know. It's much too early in the investigation at this point. As I said, there's a few things we're looking into to determine as to why this took place.
Did you mention, I'm sorry if I was a little late, did you mention more than one post office received?
No,
Is this something at Elizabeth?
It came from Elizabeth Post Office.
Everything came from Elizabeth?
Yes.
And there were 2 still there, you said? 2
There were
letters?
2 that were not delivered because it was known that that address did not exist on the street. There were 2 addresses that were mailed to 2 addresses here, however, no address existed, so the carrier left them at the post office.
Were they all addresses on Warren Street and all next to one another?
And not all next to one another, no, it was spread out over the block.
All right, and okay, so all of the envelopes did go to Warren Street. There's
Correct.
no.
Correct, the 100 block.
And why are you unable to confirm or deny the existence of a note? That's just too
As I
sensitive?
said, it's much too early in the investigation. There's several things we're looking into, and for investigative purposes, we're not going to release anything further other than the potential of a hazard involving the substance, which at this point has been deemed safe.
Any EMS response? Anybody taken to the hospital or evaluated?
No,
No evacuations.
no evacuation.
And who came out here? I mean, I see a whole bunch of vehicles and people. So when you
Well,
have something like this,
Well, when we have something like this, it sparks a lot of attention, and I'm sure this is why this was done. And so we have, of course, the county hazmat, the prosecutor's office, which goes along with this, the postal inspectors, postal police. So
And state police also here?
there is no state police now.
No state police.
the post office told us that if it had been anthrax, they have a method of testing for that, and it would have shown up as it went through the mail system. Is that your understanding too?
I am not aware of any type of devices they have. They may very well, but this is the first I'm hearing of that.
Do we have an idea what kind of substance? I know it's not harmful, but baking soda or some kind of
It
cleaner?
was I know there was a bleach substance, and there was a couple substances mixed in that were not harmful.
About how much? A handful? A tablespoon? What was the
A
name?
very small amount.
Is it
Very
a
small.
regular size envelope? Big envelope?
It was a smaller envelope,
Not a legal size
not a legal
envelope.
size.
Addressed to individual people, or just like
To the resident.
Just said resident.
Resident. Oh, and was it typed or handwritten?
Everything was typed.
Typed?
Which suggests to you what?
It suggests to me that somebody doesn't want to use their handwriting
Because
because they don't want to be identified.
and what can you say? Spell your name again, sir.
First name's Paul, last name Morrison, Morrison.
And Chief Morrison, there are 14 here and then 2 at the post office.
Correct,
Is that
16
right?
in all.
And they all came from the Elizabeth post office.
Right.
All right.
An address from the Roselle Park Police Department.
Return address, yes.
Return.
And when you say typed, was it on a label and then put on, or was it typed right onto the envelope?
That I can't disclose at this point.
Okay, because nobody has typewriters anymore. It'd have to go through a printer or something. So was it printed on? I mean,
I can't discuss the print.
Any leads at all? Rough idea?
As I said earlier, there's a few things that we're looking into, and it's very early in the investigation, and we have many, as you can see, agencies here that are involved in the investigation.
Has anything happened in Roselle Park recently with the police department that would get someone so upset they would do something like this? I mean, I know you're an effective police department and sometimes you don't make friends.
Not that anything comes to mind right away. I mean, that would have to be researched through our records to see if there is any connection to this. That's one of the avenues we're looking at, that what the connection would be with Roselle Park.
Okay, thank you so much. When are you going to clear the street?